Hello everybody, welcome back to our channel. I'm TJ.
And I'm Elon.
And tonight we're going to talk about this topic that is widely discussed out there, and I think a lot of agents, they always say that don't buy HDB, buy private properties because private properties will make you more money, right? I think we get this a lot from the ground.
Yes, we do. So to the point whereby I don't really think so, because I have HDB owners who are doing well because they bought the right property, right? So it's not very true, but right now we actually have case studies to put it into numbers to have apple to apple comparison. So we have a better idea to show you what do we mean.
Yep, so we actually found an outlier in the HDB market that actually made more money than a private condo within the same estate as well, just a street across each other, right? So Elon, do you want to pull out the case study?
Yes, sure. So what we can see here is we have a 273 Bishan Street 24, okay? So it is a level 25 unit, okay, and 95 square meters. Okay, so over this 5-year time span, what we can see is that the owners actually make 19.79%, okay? So the price is actually, they earn actually a good 200K, right? Whereas for Bishan Point, which is a condo, yes, it's a 2-bedder condo, 980 square feet, okay? In the same similar 5-year time period, we actually see them only seeing a gain of 7.93. I mean, with that said, that's still a 100K gain, okay? It's not lousy. It's not as if they lost money, okay? But what we can see just comparing the two is that, funny thing is HDBs actually make more money, right? And lastly, if we are also comparing with a 5-bedroom, okay, 5-bedroom by right with a bigger square footage, we should be making more money in the same time frame, okay? Whereas Clover by the Park is actually a very, very popular condo as well, right? But within this same time frame, okay, what we actually saw is that 2,572 square feet unit within the similar 5-year time frame only made 13.63%. So why is that so? Okay, what TJ will go through with you shortly is about the 6 macro factors that will determine and analyze why actually HDB outperform these two condos.
Yep, and I think to add on some context as well, right? So for Natura Loft, the HDB that we're going to do the case study on is actually completed in 2012. Okay, whereas for Clover by the Park, okay, it's also completed in the same year as well. So in terms of age-wise, it's a very fair apple-to-apple comparison. Of course, Bishan Point, those who are familiar, its TOP date was in 2005. Okay, so moving on towards our macro and micro analysis, right? So first up, when we talk about macro 1, price point, the quantum is more palatable for this HDB compared to Clover by the Park, right? Its immediate counterpart. Okay, what do I mean by that? Because in terms of entry price point, okay, Natura Loft is actually 2 times cheaper compared to Clover by the Park. Or Clover by the Park is double the price over there. Of course, what does it mean for a purchaser out there, for a consumer, right? In other words, your cash outlay is double if let's say you're buying into that. Of course, today the numbers, if let's say we look at the absolute quantum, yes, Clover by the Park made like 500 over K, but in terms of percentage-wise, all right, the HDB itself at Natura Loft actually made more money, all right, higher gains, all right, compared to Clover by the Park. Okay, secondly, if we were to assess the macro factor number 2, demand and supply, all right, Bishan being the center point of our Singapore island, all right, is hold high in demand, all right, for consumer buying for owner occupancy. In other words, for your own use as well. So it attracts a lot of demand out there, right, for youngsters, even for retirees as well. For those who are familiar, right, Natura Loft is actually situated in a very, very well-connected locality. And next, if we were to assess the supply situation, there's actually no new HDB supply since Natura Loft. Right, so for the past 11 years, there's no newer or younger HDB in the same estate of Bishan over there. So this creates an impression to buyers out there. If today I want to live in such an ideal central location at Bishan, right, there's no other options. Right, Natura Loft is the go-to for them. Yep. Okay, and our third macro, okay, is in terms of infrastructures. Right, frankly speaking, there's not much infrastructures coming up in Bishan as well. Right, I mean train stations, MRT line. Okay, yes, we do have the Thomson East Coast line at Sin Ming area. All right, but it's still quite a distance away. So that doesn't really directly impact the pricing as well. Okay, and for our micro factors, Elon?
Yes, so for our micro factors, for micro 1, owner occupancy, what we actually see is that Bishan is predominant area with owner occupancy, where there are young families and retirees. So for them, actually what we notice is that the people that buy in, okay, they do want a certain size. So the nice thing about Natura Loft is it provides that size for a very good quantum. Okay, so that is also why, in terms of performance, it's doing so well. And for micro 2, buyer desirability. Okay, for buyer desirability for Natura Loft itself, you will find that it's actually very, very well connected, close to nearby amenities, as well as good schools that help retain its value. And for micro 3, competition analysis. Natura Loft itself does not have any competition nearby. Units nearby are actually built in the 1990s, and anyone want a newer HDB, they have to go to Natura Loft.
Yeah. So I think to sum it up as well, we dug out another case study, right, to compare HDB with a HDB. So this HDB we are going to compare with against Natura Loft would be at 165 Bishan Street 13. So its TOP or its construction completion date was in 1987. So if you look at the numbers over here, 6 years this time, all right, if you were to assess these two units. 165 Bishan actually made 12.16% over 6 years. Whereas this 273A at Natura Loft, all right, it made 23.79%. So it's almost double of that. Right. One thing that we could say that is because of the age as well, because we do understand that being a 99 leasehold property, not saying that it's not going to make money, because in fact, it did make 12% as well, which was actually higher than Bishan Point.
Yeah.
But instead, Natura Loft double, all right, for good reasons, like what we mentioned in our 6 macro and micro factors. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, if you're really out there looking for an investment property, be it a HDB or be it a condo as well, so feel free to speak to us and we'll be happy to share what we can with you. We'll see you soon.